Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me for T-40 day 2. So as scheduled, today will be a Gamers for Good day. I've got a wide shot here behind me so you can take a look at some of the Gamers for Good studio space. I'm going to chop this down in a second when we get to work, so I just wanted to give you guys a glance. It's really fun when you see Peach stream with me, which he will be starting with us next Tuesday. You can actually see where his camera meets my camera over here in the middle, so it's kind of fun. All right, so now that you've had a chance to peek in there, I've got a lot of work to do. So you guys are going to kind of come along for the ride. Let me switch views here. All right, so as we can see, excuse me just a second. I have quite a few Trello cards on my task list here. So I am kind of just going to jump into some of this and explain as we go along. So to begin with, the name of the game that I'm working on this evening is Cat Burglar. It will be Gamers for Good's first game release. It'll be an animal charity awareness game with a really fun aesthetic and gameplay mechanic to move you level to level. So let me see. All right, so looking over here at my Trello cards, I am going to, let's do this first. I'm going to adjust that. Then I can do that. I'm going to do the things that I know how to do first. Then I'll move into the stuff that I'm doing fairly newly, that I might have done once or twice before, but I'm still learning it. So I'm going to jam through the things I can do right away. And then we'll move through this other stuff and work our way down. I would love to clear all these. I don't think I'll solve this one tonight, just because I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. The behind the wall shader, I know exactly what it is I need and what I want it to do. I just haven't worked out the mechanic of that in my head. I normally take down a piece of paper and just start drawing out like a mind map of what the magic of video games actually breaks down to in a series of if-thens. Because it helps me to then know what to go looking for. Rubber duck theory. If you can state your problem clearly, you've halfway solved it. So the clearer you can narrow down what the problem you're having is, and the clearer you can state what's not happening. So you want to be able to say, this is what's happening. This is what I wanted to happen. You now have all the variables that you need to solve the problem. So yeah, I'm going to go do, first thing I have on my list here today is to adjust the dogs on the new geo. So what you're going to see is I have laid out all the enemies. We've put in a basic AI, and then Pete swapped out geometry on us. He gave it some more character, some more work, some more refinement, some more polish. So it's slightly different. So the enemies need to be adjusted for the geo that they're in right now. Okay, so let's drop that down there. I'm going to move this Playmaker panel into my Unity so that I can try to one window this. I'm going to try. Okay. All right, so as you can see, we're looking in here on our level. If I press play here, you will be able to see our main character. Dun, 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 dun. It is Cat Burglar. I'm not going to elaborate too much on the story or the design since that wasn't my work. Pete will be getting on here with me, and I'd much rather have him talk to you about that. Sean Coleman, who has also been working alongside us, we're going to have him jump in when I can. I got to talk to him about when I can grab him on here. I want to let them tell their stories. How implementing these things have resulted in the decisions where we are now. It's better to hear it from the people who thought it, not just the person who implemented it. A lot of what I'm good at is that the implementation, the reverse engineer the problem, solve it to the micro pieces, and just start tackling them. That I'm good at. Oh, my floating doggies. I've got all kinds of floating pups. So let's just see what we've got here. So this one's not too bad. He's a little high. He's a little floaty. Cat is, she actually got stuck there. The shader is letting her ear, the collision, is letting her ear go into the wall, and she's getting stuck. So he's just a little up. The one here walking to the gems towards me, he's a little up. Like, I can see space between him and the ground. Ah, his vision just cleared my head. Let's see, my guy's over here. Trying to get in this room. Ah, they're gonna catch me. I can't see their feet from here. It's really hard to tell. I'll have to look when they slow down. Let's look at this guy. That guy at the top, he's a little low, actually, so I need to raise him up. He's a little floaty. You're a little floaty. Yeah, so basically we just need to go and adjust for what the adjustment to the geometry resulted in with the dogs. Okay. This one is fairly simple. That's why we'll start there. All right, so let's look at this closest dog to us. Let's see where he is in relation to the ground. He's a little high. So what we want to do is move him down. So you see where he passes into the ground. Okay, now I'm on it. So basically what we were moving there is the Y. So I'm moving him up and down. About 5.54 is awesome. So the thing I have to be careful with is every time I move one of these dogs, the only thing I'm actually moving is where it starts. The next thing I have to go adjust for each of these dogs is their waypoints. So all of these dogs are working on a very simple pathing system. They are being told to go from one point in space to another. Simple, that's it. This dog will walk down here, turn around, and walk back here. So he has two waypoints. He has the where I start in space, blink. Then he has his waypoints. You guys aren't seeing anything, why? Little technical difficulty. I just looked on the preview and I can see that you can't see my Unity for some reason. I'm gonna try and change this real quick. Screen share. This one. Sorry, I'm waiting to see if this is updating. An error occurred. So I'm trying to get my streaming service to activate so you can see my Unity, because it seems like that is not broadcasting for some reason. And it doesn't seem to want to. Okay, let's see if that did anything. It doesn't look like it. I don't understand.
There is a delay. You remember?
But it's still not there. Okay, well, that's not useful. Does it matter which one is which? I'll try switching my windows here to see if there's some odd reason that makes a difference. Try that. Live testing. Woohoo! Yeah, this doesn't seem to be working. Well, one thing we're learning here, welcome to streaming, is I'm trying a different software. So the fact that not everything is going as planned is sort of should be expected. I'm the live guinea pig, basically, is how that works out. So let's do this.
Using something different from yesterday?
No. Okay, can that be seen? Like, I don't understand. Like, if I make... So that's there, right? No, wait. Let's see. Does it come? Yay! Okay, fracking Unity. Now that it's covering the whole dynamic world, let's make this a little smaller. Realize this one isn't showing at all. Okay, so let me push this. Now we should be able to see what is going on. Sorry for the delay, but learning as we go. That's what I said. That's what you get. I think, okay, yes. So we now have everything properly sized, and actually, I don't need you to be able to see this stupid part. I want to get it as big as I can for you without showing stuff you don't give a crap about, basically, like what else is on my desktop. Sorry, making a couple changes here. I just want to be sure to, there we go, send to live. I'm going to move this over just a little. There we go, okay. All right, so that should be better when it updates finally. Okay. All right, now I feel like a goofball because I talked about all kinds of stuff that nobody could see. Yay! But psst, I was here by myself, so it's okay. So I'm going to keep going from where I was, and life goes on, right? Okay, so what I was saying is that the way that this system works with the pathfinding that we've created is that there's basically an initial point where your model comes to be, where your game object comes to creation, you know, start, it appears in the scene. Where does it appear? Bam. Your waypoint, so waypoint 1, is the first place you want it to go. So in this dog's instance, waypoint 1, let me open this up and show you. So waypoint 1 is actually where he's standing. And waypoint 2 is across the panel. So as I said, he will simply walk from where I start, where I go, then I go back. So by changing the transform in that y-axis on the dog itself, only changes where it comes to creation in the scene. So that came to 5.54. But watch, when we go to these waypoints, you'll see it's still at 5.682. So we need to adjust that to the 5.54 to bring the dog to the right level. So that is waypoint 1 for the dog, waypoint 2, we also need to put it 5.54. And then this dog, who happens to be dog number 3, should be fixed now. So this dog shouldn't, let's test it. Let's jump back into the game here, and then let's look at this dog. Let's make sure he's no longer floating. Okay, looks good. He's jamming, getting there. Oh, waypoint turn around, going back. All right, that dog is corrected. Dog 3 is now adjusted for the new geo. Yay! There are a total of 9 dogs in the scene, so we've done 1 of 9 for our first task. Some of them are really easy, though, and I don't have to explain it as in depth each time because now you kind of get what I'm doing here, so I can just kind of go dog to dog. All right, let's take a look at you, dog. You are also floating, my friend. So we're going to bring you down. Sorry to be a downer. All right, that brings you to 2.535. We are going to go down to waypoints for dog 2. And we are going to change all of the Y transforms to match this 2.535. This doesn't make any sense. Oh, live game fixing. Is this dog 2? This is dog 1. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. So what I was tripping out on there is like I look at waypoint 1 and the Y transform on this model, this waypoint currently is 0.9. And if I changed this, the number I'm pasting in there is like 2.5. Yeah, it's like way big. This shouldn't be that big. Our adjustments are going to be small each time. We aren't significantly moving these characters. They were just scaled a little differently. So seeing that big a change, that's super strange. Not the right waypoints for the right dog. So this one being at 2.81 and us putting it at 2.535, that is a completely normal range of movement for the adjustment that we're making, which is relatively minor, but who wants a bunch of floaty dogs, right? And since our game also, too, is based on a vision system, if they're all at different heights, there's going to be discrepancies about what gets hit where, like because it's a triangular shape, and it would be odd. I mean, it would be odd. All right, so I just adjusted dog 1. Okay, just checking. It didn't look right. Let's test it in the game. And then after I finish testing this, I'm going to do what I should have done before I hit play again, which was save my file. All right, dog is on the ground. So I'm looking past to this dog that's coming towards me. Actually his toe when he steps over there. He might be too low. Yeah, because when he steps, he's going through the ground. That's weird. Does it do it on these other ones? Yeah, I might need to talk to Alex about how we're doing that because the dog is actually flat-footed, it looks like, but it looks like he steps down. Like he's pushing his foot into the ground, which you can't do. So it's a little strange. I will just adjust these all, and then I will make a note to Alex to take a look at what it's doing and see if he's okay with that or if we want to adjust that. I'm not an artist, so I'm not going to claim to be. I think it looks weird, but that's me. So I will just make a note and I will move on. Okay, so dog 1 done. What I want to do right now is save my scene. Got a lot of crap going on. I've got Twitch chats. I've got all kinds of broadcasting stuff open. I don't want my file to get where I've gotten too far and I haven't saved it, and then everything crashes on me. Not the best thing for progress, and we're trying to check off tasks, not do them over and over again. All right, so that is dog 1 done. Dog 2, let it go. This is the fun dog. This is the ramp dog. This is the dog that breaks the rules. So one of the key parts of our game, one of the factors, the pillar that we have been the most solidly on is our launch date. We are aiming to launch the end of April, April 30th to be exact. So that has been a guiding decision for us when we talk about what we're going to include, what we want to try, how do we solve the problems to make it a fun game. Every time we're going into that conversation is how does that affect our ability to hit this ship date? How does that affect that? Because for all of us, it was very much about let's learn how to do this, let's get something out, and then let's do it again. Well, to do that, you actually have to make something and do it and get it out. So we put that limitation on us on a due date so that we would make decisions. We'd have to move fast. We'd have to keep moving forward to finish. I mean, like, legitimately, we started the project to finish it. And as much as that may sound funny, the other 3 people on the team that I'm working with are all in AAA game development, which can be slow. It's, you know, the higher the dollar of the price of the development, the higher the risk, the larger the audience, the slower the changes. It makes sense. I mean, fiscally, it makes sense. But then it means, why do they want to do a side project? Like, why do these guys want to help out Gamers for Good in making this game? These are AAA game developers who are very well paid for what they do and very talented at what they do. But we're lucky. We get to work with really awesome people who want to donate their time. And it's because we also allow for the space for them to get what they need out of it. And I'm not liking where this dog is standing at all. It's like not in one lane or the other. I'm really afraid to move this dog at this point, though, because then I'm going to have to adjust everything. I'm not sure what's Sean. I don't actually think the dog is standing on a waypoint right now, but I don't know if the waypoints, let me look, if they're in the right places. So I'm going to move this sideways so I can see if the waypoints, which lane they're kind of in. See how this dog is really far, like actually over the line of, am I on the outer lane or on the inner lane? So I'm not sure if he started walking forward, which one he would be on. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, the waypoints are way further back. Let me swing around. That one should be in the bottom lane. Okay, so that should be okay. Although it does seem like he's going to jump, which I don't like. So I'm going to actually move him over. That was weird. Okay. A little close. Yeah, I want to move him over because I feel like he's just going to jump. If he's being dropped here and his first waypoint is over here, he's just going to flicker. And I'd rather he not. So let's just put him right there. And then as he moves forward, it'll just be a little walk thing and he will just walk. All right, so he's at the right height though now, right? Yes. Okay, so his transform is now 0.676. So we are going to go to dog 2's waypoints and do the same thing. Just change that Y transform to match the heights. So he's in line with, see how that's like above? You'll be able to see when I move it down. See, now it's right at foot level. So we're just going to go. Oh, for goggle schnots, that's right. For goggle schnots. You guys have heard the first Lizism. I say very strange words. I forgot, this is dog 2. This is why I don't like dog 2. Dog 2 moves all up and down, so my transform, copy, and paste trick isn't going to work here. I mean, it'll work once I resolve it for each level, so there'll be a level 1 and a level 2, but it's not just a consistent because he's actually going down, traversing on this, and then coming back up. So let's get what is basically level 1's Y transform, and then we'll copy that into all the waypoints that are on level 1. And then we'll go back and copy that Y transform from point 1 and put that on the end point. So we're going to swing around here. We are going to get this waypoint in line with the very bottom of the ramp. So that will be our transform for the first layer. Okay, I'm going to swing around and make sure that's where I want it. That looks pretty good. Okay, so that's negative 1.089. All right, so then let's go into the waypoints that are over here. So we need to move this one. Perfect. Let's zoom a little. Let's go over here because the next waypoint is over at that corner over there. Perfect. Move you down. Very good. It's interesting to come back into things. Okay, so now, okay, where I am at in this is I'm now back on level 2. So I need to go back to waypoint 1 and get the transform from there, because waypoint 1 and waypoint 7 are on the same level here. All the rest of them are on the level below us. Okay, so now that's in the right place. All right, so we're going to do the smart thing. We're going to save the scene, then we'll go test it and check out dog 2. Although I'm not sure if we noticed that dog scale. Have you seen this, Pete?
Yeah, so I was trying to type something to you. Don't worry about that dog. It's going to be changed.
Okay, I'm like, the dog's head is in the ceiling. Mm-hmm. He's walking where he's supposed to, so my job can be done. But yeah, there's some change going on there. Dog 2, see? Troublemaker, dog 2. All right, my job for dog 2 is done for right now. His head is in the ceiling, but...
Yeah, just the scale of them. The level of scale for cat to work there, not the dog. The dog's way taller.
Yeah, I think they said it's 1.4. That the dog is 1.4 of cat. So yeah, that's, yeah, his head is like in the ceiling. All right, so dog 3, where are you, my friend? Oh, I think we already did you. That's right, I started with dog 3. 4, which is, this is funny. This is who I actually started with all of this. When I was starting to figure out how to use the dog, Pete told me the first one that he wanted me to figure out was basically get the dog to walk from over here to over here and go back. So this dog and me have spent some time together, but it was really a red sphere. So I used to have the 7-Up dot basically. And
he's kind of in the wall now.
Yeah, he has to be moved over. That's what I'm doing right now, is adjusting them for the geo so that these guys are where they belong. So they're not floating and not in the wall. Hi, Sasha.
I need to get your dog. You told me to walk her.
I did. You ready to go for a walk, Tibbers? Ready for a walk? Sasha's going to take you. Call her.
Tibbers.
Go. Go. Call her again.
Tibbers.
I sound excited. Hammers.
My throat hurts. It's hard to sound.
Tibbers. Tibbers is my Shatees.
I haven't spoken to anyone but you guys in like 9 days.
Yes, so my middle daughter, Sasha, lovely moving to Washington, has not been to school in 9 days. They had it's funny, they had a snow day that they didn't use on Friday, so it was a day off. And then they've been snowed out the last 4 days, and she was home sick on Monday, so it's just like adding up, and she's never...
And President's Day.
President's Day, too. Yeah, she's been here forever. Like, go to school.
I could go to school.
But they won't be there. So what's the point?
I went to school yesterday. I went to the middle school.
Yes.
You're not.
All right, so we are going to... Boy, Gibbles! We are going to take care of Doggy 4 here. Doggy 4 is in the wall. I don't mind so much if he's not in the wall, like from his shoulder, because he's sticking out. He's in T-pose, which means he's taking up way more space than he probably will. So I don't mind him being close to the wall. I just don't want him in it. So I'm going to get him down first on the floor. Step 1. And then we need to get you out of... And this is where Pete killed me. So for this dog that he gave me, this room, basically, is just super in the way. Like, I couldn't see, and now it's all blended together. And so I couldn't see anything. I had a really hard time getting... Like, I couldn't just do, like, my cheater levels. I couldn't just do a top view and look at it from the top with, like, the overfill on so I could see where things are overlapping. Because the ceiling of this room is the floor of the level above. So, yeah, it was fun. I basically was running this with the collision on, with the like the texture off. So they were walking on clear cubes. That was very long and drawn out for no reason. I apologize. Let's get back to the dog. All right, so let's get the dog out of the wall. Really trying to tell if he's still floating. Floating. Like a little. I'm being like picky here. I mean, let's put him down. Okay. I'm actually worried about putting it down this much with the thing that I'm tripping out about with the animation. I actually feel like it would be better if I pick the dog up some. Because what's happening with the animation...
It doesn't matter. It's so minor.
But have you seen it really? It looks funky.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, now that I've recorded myself saying it, Alex is going to hear it and he will want to change it. I don't know, Alex, and you may know better than me. It looks like the dog like digs his foot into the ground to me.
Yeah, it's just hyper subtle, and you'll never see anything
Yes.
from this view.
Very good point, Pete. No one else is going to see our game from this angle. That's something super awesome to keep in mind. Pete's worked on a lot of like camera limited games. So that has helped him very much to keep in mind of what is in the player's vision. What are they going to see? Well, this is not it. So let's stop being picky and move on because I have a nice fatty task list. All right, let's get you out of the wall, doggy dog. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm a little concerned with how much I had to move him here. I'm really going to have to check the waypoints on this one. Because this dog centers around the entire middle of the level, the scaling would have affected more of his points the most. Sorry, air is very dry here. We're still adjusting. All right, so let's check out Dog 4's waypoints. Nice thing about this, though, is once I get them fixed, Dog 4 and Dog 5 share the same waypoints. They are basically on opposite sides of this square. So, like, if I move over through the game space, you see his, like, twinsy over here. I wasn't sure. Oh, yeah, you guys are mega floating. Okay. Which is going to be weird, because if they go any lower... These ones I'm almost going to have to leave floating. If they go lower, their vision is going to be going through the wall.
Yeah, that's fine.
You'd rather go through the wall?
No.
Leave them floaty?
Yeah. I'll put them on little platforms or something.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, if I lower this, this is going to be down here.
Can you move them back a little bit?
You want them more in line with this?
I just don't want their feet shoved into the wall.
Why not? Okay, yeah. Get their toes out of the wall. All right, so back to Dog 4. We were just showing you Cheater Dog 5. I was saying that even though these are going to be the most points I have to fiddle with, I'm so lost. here I am. Even though this is going to be the most fiddly part of this because these have the most specific points, at least it covers 2 dogs. So when I do this, I get the waypoints for 2 dogs fixed. But I have to be really sure. Okay, so this is at... Okay, let's find where your waypoint is. Okay, so this is dog 4. Let's go into the waypoints for dog 4 and 5. That's interesting. That's way over there. Huh. Ah. So it's really weird because the dog is not standing in the right place. Like if you see what I'm like tripping out here is that I'm looking at dog waypoint 1. See how it's like way over to the right from where the dog is standing? So here's where you're witnessing my ability to take in extra information because I have a greater understanding of the task that I'm doing, which is I'm adjusting the waypoints on the dog, blah, 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 to keep the dog level with the new geometry, blah. Okay, so a day ago, 2 maybe, that was confusing as heck to me. And so me getting just that working was complicated enough at the time. But now that I understand how that works, now that I've gone through all 9 dogs on this level more than once, and I get it, I'm able to see things I couldn't see. Like, I have a dog starting over here, which is basically like if I say in the first lane next to the wall, but his waypoint ends up in the second cube. Like, see how the floor is divided up? This is what I'm referring to, is there's like cube here and then cube here. So do you see that? Like, dog starts in this row, and waypoint 1 puts him in the corner. So he's doing some weird like traversal thing like right away. So he's probably got some weird blippy thing right at the beginning. But it would only happen at the beginning because if you look at like waypoint 8, it's also way over there. So that's actually where the dog is walking. He would just have something where the first time he comes into existence, there would be a blip right here. I'm going to get rid of that. Like, why have a blip? Let's just move his doggy buns over. Now we have no blip. Yay! And he's not in the wall. Yay! Okay, save. You'll notice I'm like a save fiend. It's hard enough to learn something. It's inevitable that we're going to lose something, and I don't want it to be my fault. I would rather be the one that helps somebody find a lost, corrupted file or something than be the one that like deleted all the crap. It happens, and I do know that when you have to redo things that you were learning the first time, it always makes it so much easier. And to be honest, it actually makes it cleaner. When you've actually learned how to do some of the stuff, you can not make the same mistakes and the mess. You learn more refined ways. As you gain a greater understanding, you can simplify things. All right, dog 4. So, looking at your waypoints, they actually don't look like they were in the same place you were. So, yeah, that's on the floor. That one's great. All right, let's go to the next one. So in this instance, the dog's positioning is going to be less useful to me. It's actually going to make me take longer to do this than eyeballing them. Thank goodness, you know, Unity has those transform handles that allow me to just move it in one axis. So if I'm just trying to move it down to the floor, I can just pull this arrow and I can only go up and down. So I can't end up like pushing it like through the floor or unexpectedly. I can't lose it. It lets me control which direction I'm moving. So I'm just going to go through these and eyeball them because it's actually going to be much more efficient. It's not the biggest adjustment. It's literally just like moving a few spots down a little bit, and I know where they are. So I'm just going to pull these down to the ground. Anybody know a trick? Let me know. Like, I wish you could make it so you couldn't select stuff. Like, I keep opening everything in my hierarchy and I don't want to. Like, I click on something by mistake and it opens all the menus and then I'm just like buried in hierarchy. All right. Where was I? Nope. Nope. Aha. I was there. All right. So we're over here. So we have had a bit of snow. It's been actually funny to watch because we've gotten like snow like every day for the past few days, but it's had a weird like pattern. Like it snows overnight, so it's all snowy and frosty in the morning. And then it kind of melts off and it's slushy in the afternoon. And then it starts getting cold again at night, and then it kind of starts over. So we've had these days that like start in snow and like end really cold, but they get like slushy. I don't know. I like it. I appreciate it because I can still like get out and go do like I needed to go sign up for some business stuff this afternoon, and I didn't feel like I had to go drive in the snow to do it. The snow had kind of melted off the road and off the car, so I didn't feel as dangerous, I guess. I've driven in the snow a couple times, and one time it was scary as hell. It was totally scary as hell. I won't lie. And to me, I think it was scarier to me because I was driving a manual. And because it's so much more touchy-feely than an automatic, which the car just shifts itself, you know, like with a manual, you have to feel how the car is feeling and adjust the engine for it. I felt so skiddy, like so skiddy because like I didn't know when to shift. And even though the car was going faster, I didn't want it to. And it made me nervous. It seemed like extra chaos at the time, you know, like it's already snowy and now I'm like shifting, and which I don't normally mind a manual transmission. I actually can like it, but I have anxiety and that just gave me extra. Like I guess my stressy level hit high and all those extra tasks became more than I wanted to do. All right, so I think I've adjusted dog 4 and 5's waypoints. So let's take a look. I just saved my file. I'm hitting play, waiting for that to load up. All right, let's see. We got a swing up here. Whee! All right, there he goes. Take your turn. Yep. Yes. I don't know if I like how close he is to the wall on that side. And this one. Yeah, he's too close. Yeah, okay, so I need to move the waypoints on the far side. Yeah, because you can see like when he's doing there, he's going to clip it. Like with his ear. He's too close. Okay, so I need to move the waypoints on this far side away from the wall some. He's getting too close. So let us see where they are at. So let's just move this a little. Go to 5. Move it a little. I'm going to flip around this way because what I'm looking at is this is the wall he's clipping. So this, once again, this transform control that lets me only move in this Z axis makes sure I'm just sliding across the surface of the floor, basically. I'm not losing myself. All right, I think that'll be better. Let's move you out a little too so he doesn't end up in there. Center you above the stairs. Let me check this last waypoint here, and then I will run around and let everybody see some of what's going on here. What adjusting these dogs is doing. What are the dogs doing? Our dogs are our guards. These triangles you see in front of them, sorry, are their vision cone, basically. You're seeing like what they can see. And so we want to make sure, holy moly, I can be bad at controlling this thing. Yeah, you're too close to the wall. Okay, so let's hit save, and then I'm going to go check out this one, and then I can also take a run around the level and let you guys see what's going on here. Oh, I didn't hit play. Whoops. Like, why isn't it going? Oh no, I really broke the game. Okay, let's just check out my dog. Well, it appears I broke something. Or the game just bugged. All right, let's check out Doggy Doofus here. All right, that's better. He's not in the wall. Let's just follow him all the way around. He is way too far over now. Hello. Yeah, I knew this one was going to be the most fiddly. This is the one with the most turns on it, so it had the highest potential to be the wrongest, the most incorrect. Backside is looking great. Let's see how he makes this turn now. Okay, that's awesome. He clears everything with his ears and the bone. That one I don't really like. This one I need to fix. That's okay. All right, so let's see. So Cat Burglar, you find her. We come into the scene. She appears to be a space station of some sort. There's dogs that are patrolling in various paths. There's these magenta gems all over. What is this? There's a key. And some locks. The dog is going to catch me. So if the dog catches me, if his red cone touches me. So I'm going to guess by the total lack of UI telling me what to do that I want to collect these gems and these keys. Okay. To tell my truth, I suck at playing video games. So if I make this look really hard, don't judge the game. I am hysterically good at games. Like, hysterically. Ooh. So one of my next tasks tonight is to get some rough UI in here, because, oh, there she goes. And here you can see that she just falls forever. Until you hit Y. So right now, nothing really happens when you collect these gems. It disappears, but maybe you're just destroying them. Like, it doesn't really give you the impression that you collected it or anything. It just went away. So we need to get some UI in there, even just to like rough that experience out so we can see, does it feel, rewarding, or do you feel like you're getting enough points? Is it happening? Can we add a V effect on that? Like, what do we want to do to make the player feel like they're getting their value out of collecting that obstacle? That one pisses the absolute crap out of me. Why is there gems you can't get to?
You can get to everything.
Oh, you can?
Of course.
I'm the best. How do you get there? As I said, I suck at playing video games, and Pete's like, you just have to run around the map, and I'm just like, I just can't handle it. Oh.
There's definitely some missing stuff that will help.
Oh, can I just chill back here? Yeah, see, this is why we need the shader. Like, I don't exist.
Yeah.
I'm like right there, and that's it. Oh, look, I found a cheat spot. Ooh. Diddly-do-right.
It's really stretched on your screen. Is it because your screen is squished inward?
I don't know. I must have. No, it's not squished on my screen. You're just not seeing that half of, like, another half of my screen is off the edge. It's just not showing.
No, the whole thing is squished.
Okay, maybe I accidentally pulled it in the software. Maybe I did that. So, okay, so I'm going back into the game here. I'm just, basically, you catch what's going on. There's dogs that patrol from spot A to spot B. Some of them have, like, they're standing guards. They just rotate 180 degrees. One of my tasks today is slow them down. They're just, like, spinning. They're supposed to, like, stop, 1, 2, spin, 1, 2, stop, spin. You know, like, they're going too fast. But we'll get to that. Ooh, doggy's gonna get me. I'm really feeling like I want a key, and I know I'm gonna, like, mess it up. Ah, see, I did. I'm the best! Yeah, as I was saying, you'll have to watch someone else working on this game play it for you, because they will make it look way better than me. So I'm gonna go back to adjusting my dogs, because I don't want to do a disservice to something that the other guys could enhance your experience on. Well, what am I looking at? Oh, nothing. I'm looking at a waypoint. Welcome to the stream, guys. Nice to see you, 10K Switch and Piggle. All right, so let's get these waypoints. There was a few adjustments I wanted to make still on the waypoints here. Oh, the ending waypoints. He's ending up way too far over. So let's look at waypoint 8 and move that towards the middle. And then we want to go to waypoint 1, which is going to be just down the hall, and move that over too, so that it's not running into the wall. Basically, the dog is just getting way too close to the wall. I need to move this towards the middle. Awesome. So we're going to save that. So that basically gives us through dog 5. Dog 8 stands still, so he'll be a quick fix. 6 and 7 are my next 2 dogs. Since I'm going to be going over to 6 and 7, I'm actually going to grab part of the other task too and just do it at the same time, which is increase their wait time. So Pete said to leave them where they are vertically, so that their vision cone doesn't go below the layer of the wall. But he said get their toes out of the wall, basically. Guys are standing with their toes in the wall. Gosh. I want to see overdraw. Okay, so this overdraw will just show me, like, where my surfaces are overlapping. So I can just move him out of the wall. Toesies out. Next. Move over here. No, we'll get his toesies out of the wall. Toesies out. Okay, so now that we're actually here at the dog, we are going to change the wait. They're not waiting long enough. Pete wants additional time on this wait. So what we're going to do, let me just remind myself what we're looking at. Okay, so what this is a visual scripting extension plugin for Unity called Playmaker. It basically allows you to visually script instead of code. So you're grabbing and creating blocks for variables and scripts and working through your items this way. So what I am looking for here is this says wait, right? I'm like trying to read it. So this is waiting 1 second and then going to finish. I don't know why. So let's try doubling it and see what Pete says. So that's dog 6. Let's go to dogs and also change that same to 2. So we will see what Pete thinks of that. And let me just go to my Trello. Okay, so this is add additional wait time to rotating dogs. That one is done. We're going to go back to adjusting dogs on Geo. All right, so 6 and 7 are good. They're easy. 8's going to be pretty easy too, because 8 stands still. So if I need to adjust it, it's literally just where it's standing right now. I might have to put it down on the ground. Yeah, it looks like I do, but that's it. There's no waypoints. There's no bigger picture moving. No. Once he's standing on the ground, this one's done. This one is easy. All right, 8 is good. What is that doing? I've got windows popping up and I have no idea what they mean. Like, I don't know what this Twitch is doing. Like the Twitch program is open. Okay, so we've moved it back into shaded. I've got one more dog, my 9, who is all the way up. Let's select dog 9, all the way up on the top level. Hello. Zoom out, get a better angle here on pups. Where are you? Are you floating? You're not too bad. But this one's also going to be easy because it's going to be a copy and paste. This is a flat surface, so dog is simply just walking. So now that I've got that Y transform on him, I'm just going to copy that. We're going to go down to the waypoints for dog 9, and we will just copy this in to all of the Ys. It's just a slight adjustment. He was a little bit floaty. And we'll just get him down on the ground. And then this will be the end of this task. Once I adjust him, we'll go play. I will go through a play and visually check them all one more time. Okay, so save, and then I will go dog to dog. And visually in this play, just look and make sure I can put my signature on that I adjusted them, basically. That I feel comfortable with saying, yes, I adjusted the dogs for the new Geo. Okay, so dog 1 is you. You look good. Let's follow you all the way. Nice job, dog 1. You did it. Oh, dog 2 is in the front. That's Rampy Dog. All right, good. Dog 3 is the one walking back and forth here. Okay, good. Dog 4 and 5, we're going to get eyes on. Okay, that's good. We're going to follow 1 all the way around. They're on the same waypoints, they're the same model, so it'll look the same for both of them. They just simply start at different waypoints. One starts at 1 and one starts at 5, so that they're at opposites of each other. So as long as all of these look good, they'll be good for both. Nice. Let's clear this last corner. Nice. Okay, let's just swing around to the back side and check out 6 and 7, our guards. I don't know what Pete's going to think of that timing. We'll have to see what he says later. But let's just make sure those toes. I'm going to try. It's really hard to get to these. Oh, Schnittlebits, and that's why. Schnittlebits, I think you just heard Lizism number 2. All right. I can't really get eyes on those. It's too hard. I'm going to let that go. The toes is not the most significant. 8. Oh, 8's a standy guy. I'm sure he's still standing there. He actually may be standing in a shitty spot, but it's really hard to look from here. It's fine, whatever. Okay, and then dog 9, who's up top. Let's see. Whoa. You are way too close to the damn wall. Okay, so when dog 9 clears this side, way too close to the wall. Like he like cuts this corner and like scratches his shoulder along the wall. So I need to move him away from the wall there. Other 2 sides are great. So that's it for the dogs. That's the one last adjustment I need for feeling like I can sign off on saying they are adjusted for geo. So let's just take a look at these waypoints from above. For dog 9, it'll make it a lot clearer. Okay, so let's just get that like that. Zoom out. Okay, so waypoint 1. Yeah, you're too close. So let's move you there. Too close there. That one should be good. Let me go back. There. There. And that one's good. Okay, so we save again. I'm just going to, once again, this keeps happening to me, and it's like I feel I'm really kind of frustrated with the cloud services. I have been getting a bunch today of like issues with saving into my Dropbox when it's syncing with a local folder, which I'm frustrated with because we switched to Dropbox because Pete was having issues when syncing to Google Drive when saving in Photoshop. So if we're trading this for that, it's like if I'm going to have problems with Unity and the streaming software, or he's going to have problems with Photoshop, there's got to be something that freaking works, right? I mean, I feel like the option is better here because at least Dropbox lets you know it had a problem saving. And then you can try it again a minute later and it's like, okay, I'm done accessing that file. I get what's happening. Photoshop, like, and the Google Drive thing, it's weird. It like deletes your files and it thinks it's saving another one and it locks you out of it. Not worth. Not worth. Okay, so what were we doing? Did we? Oh, no, we're going back in. I saved. We're going back in to do the final check on 9, just to make sure when it clears that long straightaway that it is not too close to the wall anymore. Wow. Why does this feel so close? Oh, you can zoom. Weird. You can zoom. Ooh. I just learned something about our game. Wow, that makes it a lot easier to frickin' QA. Wish I'd known that. I'm not paying enough attention. Okay, so basically what I want to check here is just the dog walking here because he was getting too close to the wall. Yeah, now he's clearing it nice. He's coming out wide into the gem packs. Taking his turn. There we go. Sweet. Dogs have been adjusted for new geo. We get to check off a Trello task. Ta-da! I wish like I got real life dings. They would be so rewarding. Next, throw up a rough UI to test key and gem collection. This stuff sounds funner. Sounds. No, but we have to do this. I can't tell if the gem system is working or not. I'm actually kind of intimidated by this task because I feel like I made this system based off someone else's system and I didn't understand all the functionality I would need all the way through the process. So I'm not even sure if it works at all. I know that it works in the console, so it should theoretically work. We'll see. All right, so let's go to my hero cat. So what I want to look for here, what I'm looking for is how is she keeping track of the gems? What are you doing, Tibbers? Tibbers is burying something in the corner. Gem. Okay, so I see all these gems, but is there like a a variable? Okay, yes. Let's see what I got for variables. Waypoints. I'm super confused about. So yes, now you get to watch me be a little lost. Because I know that gems collected. Oh, God. Interesting. Okay, see, here's where you can see that I learned something. I'm storing the integer of how many gems are collected on the gem. So as I can tell you right now, this is not going to work. Because what's happening is when I collect the gem, I destroy the gem. So it doesn't exist anymore. So I'm not going to be able to pull an integer off it to display a gem count. So what I need to do, now that I've learned this, I need to move this integer of gems collected to the player and make it a global variable. I don't want this local to the gem. This is not going to help me. I mean, it's awesome that I learned how to write this and it's cool, but I have it on the wrong thing. Maybe, actually, no, I could work with this. Because what I could do is just simply set up the player to grab this integer of gems collected. No, I don't. Trying to think this through. I'm not sure. I need basically where I'm struggling here. I need to end up with two integers. Because for our UI, we want to have how many items, so basically how many gems or how many keys have been collected out of how many exist. So do I have 1 of 4, 5 of 20? So I'm going to need to display both of those two numbers for each of those items at the same time. So it's keys collected exist, gems collected exist. So I'm just looking at the stuff here. So basically where I have the gem assigning score. So it's increasing the integer of 1 on the trigger for gems collected. Yeah, I need to move this variable. Can I copy this? I have no idea. Move to global variables. Let's do that. Yes, I am sure. Because now that this is a global variable, I should be able to access it from the player too. No, that's not the right way to do this. I'm sorry, I'm thinking this out loud, guys. I'm really trying to figure out how I want to tackle this. I really just do want to move this off of here. Make it a local. Get rid of that one. So I just broke what's happening here, but I'm going to go fix it and then I'll come back and change the script. So I basically want to go back to my hero character, Cat. I want to create a variable on her. We're going to create a new integer on her, which will represent gems. We're going to make this an int. And here's where I'm going to get, I'm looking at a file that I'm working on with someone else, and I'm trying to understand his naming convention. It's not consistent from what I can see right now because he starts the game objects with GO, but then the vector, the float, those both start with inputs. Maybe I just don't understand his naming convention. That's part of the beauty of working with other people. You learn that other people name things other ways. I'm just going to make one, and if we get to a point where he's corrected it or cleaned up, I don't care. So Sean, if you want to change this, go for it. I don't care what it's actually called. I just cared about the functionality. So what that warning was that just popped up is telling me I have now altered the prefab. Cat is a prefab. She's basically dropped into each level. And it's saying if I don't hit this button over here, which says apply, that the changes I've made will be local to this copy only. It will no longer be a consistent Cat experience level to level right now because the prefab will be different than this local version. Don't want that. Hit and apply. Want to apply those changes to the prefab. I want this same gem collection system to work in each level Cat is dragged into. All right, so int gems collected. This looks so different than, oh, you know what's funny is I just updated my version of Unity and they must have changed. Or it's actually not Unity, it's Playmaker. They changed where you used to have a box right here that you could check for this to be global. I mean, I see how I can do it. It's just weird. I don't know why they chose to change that. Oh, it looks like I have 2 of these. I'll delete that. So the globals, why can't I not? It's funny, this doesn't want to go with all the other things. This global variable wants to be global. All right, so we've now created that global variable for int gems collected. So now I'm going to go back to that gem prefab. So into the gems, into the gem prefab. We're going to increment the, so we're getting the integer from there. Manager level, gems collected. Wait, oh, wait a minute. Okay. So that's actually where I was storing it. That actually makes more sense. And now I know why. I created on the level the integer for gems in game, keys in game, gems collected, gems in game. So that those would be available to everything. So I stored this variable on the top level of our structure, of our hierarchy, so that it was available to everything. So actually all I want to do then is add another integer here because I don't see one for gems in game. So
Document Discord.
hi, Jasmine. My youngest daughter. Okay, so what I've now done is I have gone and this is big. Why is it big? So I have gone and created gems collected, gems in game, keys collected, keys in game, locks opened. So that has all of the integers that we need to be able to access. All right, so now we go back here. For the gems, we go into the level, the FSN name, integer. So let me walk you through what we're looking here at this screen. So here we are in the Playmaker. We are on the state of gem, increment the gem number. So what has happened is we have the gem. It is sitting there waiting for anything tagged with the tag hero to run into it. If that happens, then they go to the next step, which is here. So the gem is registering a collision between something tagged hero and itself. So what we want to do right now is we want to get from the manager of the level, we want to know how many gems do we have. Then we want to add 1 to that. And then we want to set that integer. Now that we got what it was, we added 1. Now we want to send it back to the level so that it has that globally available again. So now what we're doing is we're saying, okay, get that number from the level, add 1 to it, send it back, right? Okay, so that works great then. Let's make sure that is all applied. Yes, everything is good there. So now what we need to do is we need to end of game. Okay. So what this UI is basically just where the messages are coming up for end of game. What I'm going to do is just create a really rough text count for those 4 things that I was saying. So we want it to have those 4 things. So we want gems collected, gems in level, keys collected, keys in level. So we've got 4 variables we want to make graphically available to us. So under this UI, I'm going to create another text. I am going to interesting. Okay, so I'm going to drag this down here. I don't understand everything, and I won't claim to. So like me, I learned when I was making a UI that you start with a canvas. So like you'll see my canvas, it's really big here, but this is how you basically know what this looks like on the screen. It's so fracking big, it's so annoying. But the way that you can see this efficiently, because do you see where the level is? So funny. The whole freaking game is like in this corner. Whee! So that's the whole game, and this is the UI. So this can be really hard to judge this way. So it's best to kind of side by side this if you can, like rip off the game. Yeah, next to is good. Next to. Okay, because what you'll see is when I actually add my text, once again, my hierarchy gets all wonky. Okay, so this is going to be, this is my canvas. I will rename that to main UI. I'm going to tag that as holy moly, nothing. I'll leave it as untagged. I don't know what those tags are. So this text is going to be gems, which I spelled wrong, and it's only 4 letters. All right, so let's make this a little bigger. Let's make it a little chartreuse, like the gems. I don't know how bad that's going to look. It's not bad. Okay. So where you can see, and I'm looking at it, and you wouldn't even probably notice it. Do you see this right down here where it says gems? Okay, so do you see where that kind of lines up with my UI frame here? So what I want to do is I kind of want this all to go to the top. So I'm going to slide it along the bottom. Too far. And then we're going to go up. I don't know if this is where Pete wants it, but that's where I'm putting it for now. I will get feedback once I've submitted my build with the changes that I've made. But for me, it's just easier for me to see that up there right now. So that's just going to say gems. I'm going to take this color. I want to make it a preset, so I pick the same one for the gem counts. So that text, I'm going to rename this to just say gem text, because that's literally what it is, right? Why not just call it like it is? All right, and then I'm going to add another one for, this is going to be for gems collected. And then I need another one for gems in game. I'm going to create an empty game object in here just to like get my gems consolidated. I'm going to put this under gem counts. So then I will just drag these in here because I don't like to get too messy. There's a lot of individual objects that start appearing in your game files like as you go on. And I don't want it to be a big mess. What did we do here? This goes in there too. Ha-ha! See, okay. So gem text, gem collected, and I need another one that says gems in level, or gems that exist. So then I'll change this, gems in level. So basically these are going to represent the two numbers that I'm looking for in that slash. So gems 1 of 50, 2 of, you know, so okay, I have to, basically I'm creating both of these. Did I not make this bigger, or did I? Gem text, that's 14, that's a little small. Let me make this a little bit bigger so it stands out a little bit. Let's just go to 20. Okay. So we have this Arial 20 in this fuchsia. We're also going to adjust so that the gems collected and the gems in level will be the same. So we save that preset color, go down to gems in level, also make this size 20 and select that preset color. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to line these up. There's got to be a prettier way to do this. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know it. So we go on. Oh, that's right. I need to change all these to overflow so they don't get all weird when I pull on them. So basically what I'm saying is in the paragraph, I'm basically telling the text to let me do what I want. That I know you're going to want to wrap around and make it look all pretty. Just let me squish it. Okay, where my conundrum is right now is I've got this gems, I have where I can represent these numbers, but the thing that I'm getting stuck on right now is I want a slash between them. So do I have to create an individual item for that? This is going to be so weird because it's like, this is also going to be really weird to space because where I'm going to be spacing this says new text. Actually, I want to see if I can change these because it's gonna have a number. So I might as well type numbers in here so that I can space it correctly. Okay, and I have to keep track of which one is which. I'm gonna create another gem count for the slash. This seems so weird. Again, this is also something that would be a lot easier with some actual UI, like a slider. I could pull in something like that, but let's just not. Let's do this way. Rename this to gem slash. And that's literally going to be a slash. Size 20. And that preset fuchsia. Awesome. Okay, so we've got that set up. So let's get our gems collected, which is this one. And we're going to move that over so that it's in front of the gems. Then we're going to get our slash and move that. Actually, let's see. Gem text is at 243. 243. Sorry, I can be really, really bad with like see, these are like 242, 248. I want them all to be 243. Pete laughs at me because I go in and type like I'm data. I'm robotic input. That can be a funny thing about working with a group of artists. They all process things very differently than I do. And that's all right. What is this new text? What is this? What are you? I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know where that came from. Okay. So we have gems collected is up there. I need my slash. Oh, it's getting there. All right, we're going to slide the slash so that it goes in between there. And then we are going to grab gems in level. Slide that up to what? 243. Hey. All right, we're going to put that there. We are going to save that just in case anything should happen. Okay, now we have all these things we can attach logic to, basically. Right, so now what we want it to do is when the trigger for the gem is sending that count to, it's sending the count to the level. We want the level to display it in this UI. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to gem count. We're going to add an FSM. We're going to say this is our FSM for gem count. Why? Okay, so for this UI, what I first want to get, where is my actions? Where are my actions? It's so weird. Oh, action browser. Oh, hello. All right, so I want to get, oh, how friendly for me. It's on the right one, get FSM int. So this state is going to be get gem count from level. So basically the game object that we want, it's not the owner. So we're going to say specify. We're going to drag in the manager for the level because that's where that integer is being stored. The FSM name, let's hit the equal. Is that what it is? Oh, it is? Okay. Sorry, I was just looking because this FSM literally has no name. It's just called FSM. So that was confusing because when I looked on manager and it says FSM name and I chose it, it says FSM. I didn't realize that was the right one. Okay, so this integer that we're talking to first is going to be, we want to see the gems collected. So that's that one. We want to store the value. And we do want to check that. Okay, so no, we don't need that every frame. Okay, so then we got that count. Now we want to change this UI element based on what that count is, right? So okay, so let's make a variable. I'm going to make it. Okay, so then we're going to get that and we're going to make, to check every frame. Sorry, I'm just thinking this through my head. All right, so I have this, sorry, this is, so I want to get, I'm going to create a new integer that is I'm creating a new variable, which is an integer called gem count display. So basically what that's going to represent is it's just going to be a variable that is stored in this UI. It doesn't need to be available anywhere else. So we've made that. So we have now collected that. We want to change this one. Yes. Okay. So now we're collecting gems collected from the manager, the level manager. We are now storing that locally on the UI as the gem count display. So now we want to set so we want to make, let's see, UI count. the action to get the FSM, which we did. Make the variable, which we did. Check every frame. Okay, so what I need to do here is convert the text to an integer, I think. I'm a little confused. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm a little lost. I'm not remembering all the steps of when I learned to do this. So I'm actually going to...
Phone a friend.
No, I'm going to save this. And I'm going to open up my learning file because I have this where I've done it in there and I can just look at those FSMs and see how I hooked basically what states I needed. I can see in what order because the way Playmaker works, it activates the states from top to bottom. So I can basically just take a screen grab of this one and move it over. So I'm going to cheatsy just a little bit. Nope, I mean, that's how you learn. So let's open up my test file, my learning file. Oh, weird. Why am I singing Dallas? Oh, my brain is weird.
Have you seen Dallas lately?
I don't know. I haven't. I don't even know where that came from. Do I not? Where is my game? I'm so lost. Team folder? No. Liz. I'm not sure. Oh, shoot. I don't have it up here. Okay, so I'm going to do this other thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the video for the class that I took. I'm going to find the frame where he shows his. And I'm going to take it from there. All right, which will actually be... Okay, shush your face. Okay, so get FSM, specify the game object with the player. We need the point. Got it. Text point. Oh, okay, so let's change. That's the same thing. I mean, I know he called that something else, but that's okay. So I do need to set up a variable that is a string. So gems count string. There it is. Nice. Count string again. Okay, add that one. Oh, I don't like, I like to have my labels at the front for these. So like, I like string to say str, I like ints to say int. It makes it really clear from the beginning what they are. So like if I'm filtering for a string or an int, I know that I've clicked on the right ones. Okay, so then we're gonna go back over here to our state. We are gonna add an action to convert my integer to a string, because I want to gather an integer from my manager, my level manager, but I want to display it in a text. Text doesn't understand integer, but text does understand string. So I'm collecting an integer. I'm now telling it to turn an integer into a string, and then I can tell the text to read that string. That's my steps here. Okay, so my variable here is going to be my gem count display and then my gem count string. I do want that to run every frame as well. We're getting there. All right, and then I need to, now this next action, you actually have to go find. If you have the ecosystem, if you use Playmaker and you use the ecosystem, you can find it in there. But basically the action that I'm looking for is called, it's called UGUI set text, I think. Text, no. What is it called? Text, GUI text, maybe. GUI text, no, not text, text. Did I not get it? Okay, maybe I don't have it, so I can actually show you how you get this. So I go into my ecosystem, use the ecosystem. So what I'm looking for, UGUI text search. UGUI text set text. That's what I'm looking for. I guess I don't have it here. So this is an additional action you can download for Playmaker that will allow you to take a string and use that to set a text in the UI. Okay, so now that I have it, it's a lot harder for it to find when I don't actually have it. All right, I'm not sure. Okay, it was like sleeping. Oh, it was searching for the new thing that I found. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to select this one here, the UGUI text set text. Sorry, it's giving me an error and I'm just trying to look at it. And I'm just scrolling through real quick to see the last thing that I need. Okay. Text. We want to use the string. Okay, so we want to use the string. We're setting that. Do we need that to go to every frame too? Yeah, we need that to go every frame. And let's see. Okay, so okay, so let's save this real quick and let's just go see what's happening. Argument exception. I can't read this. Like, getting control 2's position in a group with only 2 controls when doing a repaint. What? State move to point. Okay, great. Argument exception. GUI layout. Controlling. Sorry, I'm just reading through what the console is reading as this error. Aborting, Unity engine, Fabragine. All of the errors that I'm seeing here are Sean's. I'm not sure why I'm seeing those or what they mean, but I do see that it's happening on a computer user C:\user/Sean. So it's not something I'm doing. So there's not much that I can do about that.
It's his fault.
Sean's fault! Hopefully it'll let me play this though. Oh, she brought a treat home. All right, let's see. Does Kat get a score when she collects this gem? Yeah, no. No, she doesn't. Oh, wait, no, she did. What is this? This number went up. That's not the right number, but we will make it work. What is that number? All right, so what I'm doing right now is I am adding in, I actually attached the gem count to the wrong level of the gem system. So the gem is applying to the overall count, and I want it to apply to gems collected. So I'm just quickly moving that over so it's doing the right thing. Okay, so what I'm just doing here is I want to remove this FSM. I have now moved it down to gems collected, so I'm hoping that will make the change I'm looking for, and that we will have that component of that UI working. So let's hit play and see what happens. All right, so she's going to come down and she's going to get, yes! Cat has collected a gem! All right, so does it keep working? 2 gems, 3 gems. Yes, we have connected the first part of UI in Cat Burglar. Friends, we are there. Awesome. No, I'm excited about that. I knew I could do it. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. All right. Okay, so that is working awesome. I'm happy about that. All right, so that is where it's supposed to be. So gems in the level. I have to remember how to do this. There's a way to count how many, and it's on the key. So let's look at the key, or the lock, because the lock knows how many, or did I just trick it? I might have tricked it. No, I actually just tricked it. I'm not actually sure how I'm going to do that next one. Okay, so I'm going to have to take a step further in that one, and that I need to look how I get it to count. How many of those there are? Is there a count? Touch count, child count, tag count. Oh, I could get a tag count. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I think getting a tag count will help me. So let's go to the gems. Gems. And let's just make sure everything under there is tagged as a gem. Okay, let's go out of there. I don't know how to get back out there. And I want to make sure these are tagged gem. So it should make. Okay, so I will go make all of these. I will just select them and tag them all gem. Okay, that works. So we're going to put those in there. Okay, so then let's close up Cat. We don't need her right now. We don't need that one. Let's go to gems in level. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, let's add an SFM. Let's name this display gems in level. let's name the state, count gems in level. Then the action we want to choose on this is we're going to go back and we're going to choose that get tag count. So we went and we tagged all of the gems under the gem tag. So by going now and choosing that gem tag, we want to store the result. So what I need to do now is I need to make a string, right? I just did this. Okay, so I need to convert the int to a string. Game object. Okay, so let's go back this way. Let's get the tag count. We're going to go back in here. We're going to add a variable that is a string. We're just going to store it as a string so we don't have to convert it. So then we will go to gems in level string. Our string preface at the beginning of that. And add that variable. We'll go back to the state and we say we want to save. Where's my, oh, shoot. Maybe it can only, maybe that's why people do that. Okay, see, one of my tasks on my list, if you were looking at my Trello, that you might have noticed. Is it on here? Maybe not. I need to look up the variable differences. I know where some of the instances are used, but not all of them. So like my understanding right now of variables is less than ideal because I don't know what the different ones are for. Integers I know are for whole numbers. I mean, I understand that. I did take like algebra in school. That's where you like learn that, right? Like, why is this not changing? Forget it. Let's just make an integer. Like, why am I fighting to change this? int gem number of gems in the level. Awesome. So let's add that. And now I understand why you have to do that conversion, because now, yeah, I can save this. Shift plus? What is that saying? Shift plus. Oh, it doesn't like my pound sign. That's really funny. So let's just get rid of that number of, it's like, I don't know what to do with that. There we go. Okay, so we have collected from the level manager how many gems are in the level. So now we need to convert this int to a string so we can display the string in the text, right? Same steps. So the int variable that we have is the gems in the level. And I also do need to make a new string. And this will be string. This is going to be my gems in the level string. And this is what we're going to attach to this text up here. Add, go back to our state, string variable, that one, every frame, please, and thank you. And then we're going to go back and get that GUI set GUI. GUI, yes, this one. And we are going to use the owner. The text that we are going to display is this string. We are going to do this on every frame. This needs to go below this, though. Okay, technically speaking, that should work. Let's save it and go see. All right, Kat, we know that you can count how many gems you have. Can you count? Yes! What's in the level of 81? Sweet! So the gem basic UI is up. Sweet. She's got 3 of 81, so we can check that off as done. Hooray! I do notice that this is sitting in a freaking weird-ass space. I'm not sure. Let's look at that, because like when I look on my UI frame, it's not where it looks like it is. So let's see what's going on there. Because that's weird. Do you see my game frame? It shows it there too. Weird. I don't know why it's coming up so much smaller and in a different place. Okay, so it's in the right place in this view. But it's like when I maximize it, it stays in a weird spot. Yeah, I don't know why that's appearing there.
Are you ending at 9?
I am. All right, so I'm not sure the placement on here, but as it's a temp thing, it's really not something to stress over. We're just really wanting to start visualizing, is the gem collection working? This fits the bill. You can run around the level and collect gems and the number goes up. So that counts. We're working there. It now says 0 of 81. She collects 1, 2, 3 of 81. So we now have the tag working on how many gems there is. I should check that. I don't actually know that for sure 81 is right. Do you know? Do you know how many gems are on the level?
I thought it was 80, but I guess it was 81.
It might be. That's what my question actually was. I want to make sure it's not counting the group. I think it is.
81.
No, I actually think it's counting this. I think if I go back in here now, it was counting the manager that I tagged as gems. Yeah, of 80. That's what it was.
Is it possible to keep it at the top of the screen?
That's weird, right? So I don't know.
Middle of the screen.
I don't know why it's doing that, because it's only when it maximizes. Because if I just play it at this size, it stays there. So that's what I was saying of I don't know why it's not staying where it is.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because you can see over here, this is where it is. So I'm not sure when I hit maximize on play why it's getting all willy wonky.
No.
All right, so I'm just about 9 o'clock where I was going to wrap it up, and I don't want to jump into another task since I am trying to pace myself. 40 days can be a long time. So I'm going to wrap this session up tonight. Thanks for everyone who dropped by. It was great to get this next experience of working while streaming online done. I definitely want to check the playback, because it looks like quality came over better. I installed a client today to take some of the pressure off my machines, and I've also in the studio. So it's my desktop versus my laptop. I'm going to try tomorrow and see if the client being downstairs on the laptop makes that run better as well. We'll see. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow for T-40 day 3. Thanks so much. Bye-bye, guys.